Hello, I am Reba, the Starbeam Alchemist, and in today's video, I am going to talk to you about the changes of life and releasing resistances and any karmic vows associated with resistance to change. Really, the only constant in life is actually change. So it's evident within everything. The earth, the seasons, the cycles of life, everything is always about change. For me, change is about getting out of your comfort zone. As long as you are within a bubble of comfort, it literally equals stagnation. In order to grow, we have to go through changes and cycles of life. I call change circumstances having a natural growth exchange. We have to change jobs in order to nowadays make more money, usually. We get to the point where we need new environment, new house, new friend circles. Sometimes we outgrow the friends, we end up putting a lot of toxic traits on okayness just because we're too afraid to get rid of the toxic people that are in our lives and not bring in someone else. We always have to get rid of an old couch before getting the new couch. Like, this couch literally takes up my whole living room. So in order for me to get a new couch, I would totally have to just completely get rid of this one and go without a couch probably for a couple of days in order to bring in a new couch. Change the cycles of life. Today being spring equinox, it's all about the changes. We're going from the change of winter, which is our death cycle, into spring, that birth, that newness, that aliveness, that growth stage that we're going into. I recently used this with one of my friends whose Chihuahua happened to be pregnant. And we knew that she was like really close to giving birth. We weren't really sure how close. But she happened to be laying on the bed with my friend as I was doing a resistance release with her, specifically around changes of life. And the puppy, knowing that she intuitively knew she needed what I was doing with my friend, and so she came in and snuggled against my friend. And by the time we were done doing the resistance release for my friend, the dog actually went into labor and had puppies 12 hours later. So it was very interesting to see that the puppy intuitively knew that she needed whatever we were working on. Something that I have noticed as well is a lot of people have pains, aches, no matter what they're from, whether it's arthritis or, injuries or something like that. Whenever rain comes is a big, huge indicator, because rain comes during seasonal changes. Like right now, it's starting to rain a lot because spring rain, things need to grow. And I noticed that weather changes are actually resisting the cycle of life changes. So In this video, we're going to do resistances around change and changes that include the cycles of life. If this is your first time doing resistances with me, we're going to call in all the resistance. I'm going to have you repeat some phrases with me, and then you're actually going to do the motions of the waving and snapping. You can just allow me to do this, but you will 100% get more out of this if you're actually doing it with me versus just me doing this, especially when it comes to the second part of the video, which is karmic vow release. Karmic vows are vows we have taken on, whether in this lifetime or another lifetime, that will affect us. Like if we have taken the vow of silence as clergy or a monk in another lifetime, our throat chakras are totally closed down in this lifetime. We have a hard time standing up for our boundaries. It's one of the easiest karmic vows to refer back to, but that is not the karmic vow that we'll be working on. So during the karmic vow release, again, I'm going to have you do some visualization, do some repeating with me, and then you're actually going to be holding certain points of your hand in order to fully release it out of various body parts, right? So with that, go ahead and come into a state of receptivity. And we're just going to gather in all the resistance blocks fear around change. We have a fear of the unknown when it comes to change. It's actually more fear of not knowing what's to come that actually prevents us from that change. So we're just going to gather in all the resistance around change, any blocks we feel towards having change, towards the cycles of life, birth, growth, death, rebirth. Going through and getting older. Any resistance to weather changes, which also is the cycles of life, we're just going to gather in all of that resistance, all the resistance around this. And then repeat with me, Spirit, please help us remove all of this energy with waving and snapping motions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead, bring your hands into this position up here. And you're just going to scissor down. This is the waving motions. You're going to do this 3 times, all the way down. Second time, all the way down. Third time, all the way down. And this, we're going to snap at your third eye, your heart, your solar plexus. Third eye, your heart, your solar plexus. Third eye, your heart, your solar plexus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit, for the healing energies rushing into my body. Please place pillars of light within these spaces to hold and sustain them until they are filled appropriately with my true divine self. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're just going to move straight into the karmic vow release. Just imagine a violet flame ball of energy right here in front of your throat and heart. The violet flame is very heavy, transmuting energy. As you speak the words we're going to say, just see all of that energy flowing into this energetic ball. And repeat with me. I now acknowledge the karmic vow against changes and cycles of life. At one point, whether in this lifetime or another lifetime, I have taken on this vow. In this moment right now, I deem that this is no longer in my highest, best good, in my present and in my future. Go ahead and with your left hand, you're going to place pressure within the middle of your right palm and say, I now release the karmic vow of change and cycle of life out of my aura and health rays and all programming, keeping this on repeat within my energy body. Go ahead and move your hand to this meaty part right below your pinky. I now release the karmic vow against change and the cycle of life out of every cell of my body and being, out of my cellular memory, DNA, and RNA. Also removing all programming that is keeping this in play within my body. Last point is this meaty part in between your index finger and thumb. I now release the karmic vow against change and the cycles of life, removing it from my belief system and all programming instilled in me from society, religion, history, media, and my ancestors. I also remove all programming that is keeping this on repeat within my belief system. We now send this violet flame energy ball back to source to be transmuted into love and light and have new purpose. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now imagine a white energy ball again in front of your throat in your heart space. And repeat with me. In this moment, I now take on the acceptance of change and the cycles of life. This time, you're going to place pressure point on your left hand. Your left hand is your receiving hand. Your right hand is your releasing hand. So we're taking in. So on your left hand in the middle, I now take on the karmic vow of acceptance of change and cycles of life into my aura and health rays. And please put programming in place to keep this acceptance of change on repeat within my energy body. Move to the meaty part of your left hand. I now take on the karmic vow of accepting change and the cycles of life into every cell of my body and being, my cellular memory and DNA and RNA, and putting in place all programming needed to put this on repeat within my body and being. Go ahead and hold this meaty part in your left hand and between your index finger and your thumb and say, I now take on the karmic vow of accepting change and the cycles of life into every part of my belief system, placing programming in order to keep this on repeat within my belief system. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit, for placing pillars of light within the spaces and clearings until they are divinely filled with my appropriate self. Now this energy ball, you're going to take 3 nice deep breaths in, and each inhale, that energy ball is going to move into your heart and heart space in your throat, and then slowly fill throughout your whole body and being. So take a nice deep breath in, inhaling that energy ball, and exhaling anything that's not in alignment. Inhale the energy ball, filling you up more and more, and exhaling all that no longer serves you. And final breath in, taking this energy ball, spreading it to the top of your head, to the soles of your feet, all the way out, filling your entire aura. Take a nice deep breath in and expanding, and exhale all that no longer serves you. And just take a moment to feel, what you're aware of. I would love to know what happens in the comments, and if you haven't already done so, please give a like to this video as well as subscribe so you can stay posted on all my new videos. I love you. Reach for the stars. Namaste.